Hi, and thank you for joining us for our Group 1 final project, Online Professional Development Training Design for Global Digital Learning Communities. My name is Lauren Dowtrick.
I'm Greg Ardrey.
I'm Yuan Liu.
I'm Stephanie Maxwell.
So our professional development is split up into 4 different modules. The first one being digital equity. That deals with equitable and accessible technology for all students, regardless of income or technology in the home. We have digital learning for safe and healthy use. That includes topics such as cyber safety, responsible use, risks and risk prevention in online scenarios, netiquette, things like that. Digital learning for legal/ethical use. That includes digital citizenship, legalities of using the internet and having online courses, and online social practices. And then we have diversity, cultural understanding, and global awareness. And that includes global connections, cultural awareness, understanding the differences in how we communicate, even though we might be on the computer, understanding how that might be different across different cultures.
Okay, so this is Stephanie, and I'm briefly going to go through a couple of the different instructional strategies that we used in class, Ali's model and how we incorporated it, the attributes of learning, OCL, online community of practice, and community of inquiry. We contributed Ali's model of online learning in our design through preparation, activity, interaction, and transfer. The preparation, we included pre-assessments in some of the modules to determine groupings, and for every module, we clearly listed the objectives and rationale. For the activity, we included a variety of media in each module, for example, videos, text, and audios for students to pick from. For interaction, we made our interface modular to help students go through each section in a very clear way. And this is one of the reasons we chose Blackboard course sites. And for transfer, we have a real world application in some of the modules. In the discussion boards, we're asking them to explain how the topic can be applied to their individual classrooms. For the attributes of learning and the 6 forms of online interaction, we made sure that our modules were learner-centered, knowledge-centered, and community-centered. The main types of online interaction we have are learner-learner, as all of the discussion boards are mostly learner-centered, and the instructor is just there as a facilitator. For OCL, again, this is mostly in the discussion boards where we have idea creation, where students are posting their initial thoughts, idea generation, where they're responding to their peers, and intellectual convergence, where they're asked to do some kind of summary or quiz at the end of each of the modules. Each of the modules also online community of practice as again through the discussion boards. And finally, we have a community of inquiry. The teacher is there as a source for each of the modules. So for example, in my module 2, although I will be creating the discussions, I will be there to facilitate if the discussion goes in a direction that wasn't intended. The social presence is there through the intended grouping of students based on their pre-experience with the topic, and the cognitive presence is there as they're going through the resources and coming up with their own summaries of the content.
So for these modules, we have 2 different types of assessments. The first one is going to be just your basic exit assessment. It gives students a chance to go over how they felt the technology was, what they felt was the most important aspect they learned in the course, what was difficult about the technology that was used. That kind of helps us improve future courses and modules similar to this. And then they have a final assessment, which is sort of a summative assessment of everything that they learned in all 4 modules. This will be done on a Google Sites portfolio. There is a tutorial included in the rubric that shows students how to set up Google Sites if they're unaware of how to do that. Again, this is summative. It goes over everything in all 4 modules. It gives them a chance to showcase assignments that they did in each module. Gives them a chance to reflect on their learning a little bit in each one. Again, they'll talk about the most meaningful thing that they learned in each course. And then there's an opportunity for course feedback in there as well, because that also includes a section where students can explain what they thought was most useful in the course and what they think can be changed or altered.
The technology is one of the most important components in the online learning. Instructors in the online learning should lead the charge of innovation and the integration of the technology into the online learning environment. And this will ensure that students achieve the best learning outcomes. Today, we have a wide range of technologies can be incorporated into the online learning to enhance the online course and meet the student needs. When we consider integrating the technology, we need to think about why is technology important for instruction and the learning. How do we approach integrating the technology? And what tools can we use to integrate technology in the online learning environment? So as you see a list of the technologies that we put into our online training course, the course site by Blackboard, Legal, Google Forms, YouTube, and the Blackboard Collaborate, Calendar, discussion board, and the message. They are all building tools in the course site. And all these tools are open technique solutions and free to use. The allowed standard for our project is the standard 2.5. It allowed us to integrate technology into our online professional development course site to support local and global learning. So educators, we need to use the technology to create, adapt, and personalize the learning experience that foster independent learning and accommodate learning differences and the needs. Also, we must explore and apply the instructional design principles to create innovative the digital learning environment that engage and support the local and the global learning.
Okay, I'm just going to make a comment about the revised school policy. So we chose Chandler Unified School District to look at for our course. And within our course site, we have created a report that the strengths and weaknesses of the current technology policy and recommends some modifications and additions. You can look at that further in our course.
And the next Greg will just go have a short demo of our course site.
Okay, we decided to do our presentation on the Blackboard platform. And this is the opening screen for Blackboard. And at the left, you have your menu with your different options on it. If we go down to courses, this shows us the student view of the course itself. You would click here to go into the course. And this gives you the outline view of the course itself. First section we have up here is the introduction. And if I click on that and open it up, we can see our various documents that are included in the introduction section. The welcome and introduction to training is right here. If we go into that, we have kind of an outline of the course, including the standards that we used in presenting this course, and a few other notes here about it. If I go back out of that with the X over here, we have another page down here with the lead instructors. And we've got the person who has done each of the modules up here, and then we have a brief bio for each person down here that is an instructor for the course. So go back out of that. And down here we have the key dates and class schedule. This gives kind of a summary view of about how long we think each of the modules will take and about how long the overall course is going to be. Click here and close the introduction section. Here are the 4 sections of the course itself. If I go into digital equity, here is a typical start here introduction. Each of our 4 modules has the start here document in it that gives kind of a brief orientation for that particular section. It has learning objectives and standards and a schedule of the assignments that are in each of those sections. This particular section is 7 days, so that shows what each of the activities would be on those 7 days. Go up here and we'll go down and take a look at one of the other sections down here. Section 2, we have basically the same types of modules. One of our discussion boards down here is a typical example of that. It's going to be the what if section from this module. And this is set up so that the students can respond to the questions here. Close back out of that. And close the module. Module 3. Give you an example of the content that we can post on here. We can embed videos from YouTube or Vimeo and use those as part of our content. We can have a regular documentation here in print. So that gives you an idea of some of the things you can do with it in terms of content. Let's see, we've got various built-in quiz functions. If I go down here to the software quiz for an example, it's set up, you can set up a number of different options for your quizzes. This one's set up so that you have 2 possible attempts, so you can take it, see what your grade is, go back and study what you've missed, and go back and take it again if you want to in this particular case. You can adjust the number of points that you want the quiz to be valued at, and you can assign a due date for that particular quiz. I won't bother to go into this, but you have choices of various types of questions. You can do multiple choice, true, false, matching. You go in and program your answer key into it as you build the quiz, and it will score the quiz for you right there within the software. Let's see here. You also, we'll go down here and take a look at the last module. Module 4. Again, the same kind of structure. You also have the opportunity to go in and link to external quizzes. In this case, we used a Google Doc to demonstrate the ability to link to outside quiz stuff if you want to use a different platform for that for whatever reason. So the platform is very flexible in terms of what all you can do with it. And then down here at the end of it, of the stuff that we put together, we've got the final assessment rubric and portfolio requirements and final course reflection type documents like you would see at the end of a typical course. So that pretty much covers our Blackboard configuration.